I'm currently long US Euro US dollar, but right now I am looking at the pound dollar, looking for a potential entry, but I don't have one. So for the pound dollar, I was looking for this setup here. Price came down and wicked close to my limit entry, but with the spread, I wasn't able to get to entry, or at least not yet. I'm going to let this order sit here until the end of the Asian kill zone here, and see if price will deliver into my limit order. But until then, I will go over to Euro USD and walk you through my top-down analysis on why I took this position. Starting here on the daily chart, we can see some sell side delivery coming in, and then a shift to the buy side here. And then we have the new week opening gap, and that opens up to the buy side here. And then we get this very bullish candle here from yesterday. And on the hourly chart, this is the price action from yesterday. So very bullish. So I had this range here set, this dealing range, and then this higher dealing range here set. And Euro USD is trading within this higher dealing range. So this is what I base my position off of. Then if we come in closer here on the 1 hour chart, this large wick here puts in the high, and then there is a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency here, or a bullish fair value gap. There is a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency here, or a bearish fair value gap. There's also a small bearish fair value gap here, and a bearish fair value gap here. Here on the 5-minute chart, you can see the price action here is buy side delivery, and then price just basically sell off here. Price trades into this 5-minute order block, and then price reacts from that level. We can see price here sweep out liquidity here, sweep the sell side liquidity, trade down into the order block, and then trade here to the buy side, put in a high, higher low, and then a higher low, and now putting in a higher high. So putting in a bullish trend here. If you see the daily is bullish. You see the hourly here is bullish. So these time frames are aligned. So this position here has multiple time frame alignment from the multiple time frame analysis here. So this trade for me is a buy on 3 charts. So I will take this position, and my risk to reward on this trade is a 4 to 1. We'll see if it shows here. So this is a 4 to 1 risk to reward, going for a sweep likely of this high. There's going to be sell side liquidity, or there's going to be buy side liquidity resting above this swing high, and this is 4 to 1 risk to reward ratio exiting just before the sweep of this swing high, if all goes well and price delivers that far. So this is what I'm looking at for this position. I'm looking at the same thing more or less on the pound dollar, but the pound dollar has failed to provide an entry for me at this point, but I'll still walk you through it. So here on the daily chart, you can see price action here shifting bullish right here at the end of last week, and then you can see the new week opening gap and pound dollar bullish here this week. And then here on the hourly chart, here's a lower dealing range, here's the upper dealing range, currently targeting this range here. And here again on the hourly, you can see another large wick putting in the high here. There's a bullish fair value gap. Here's a bearish fair value gap and another bearish fair value gap here. So looking for a return to the buy side here on the 5-minute as the daily is bullish, and here on the hourly is also bullish. So now currently waiting for the 5-minute, or the 5-minute is now bullish, but wanting a confirmation pullback for an entry here at the 5-minute order block here. So this order block was created when liquidity was swept out of the market here, and then price returned to this level, closing above it here. And now looking for a deeper pullback for the offer for the offer to be able to reach my limit price. If that doesn't happen, then if that doesn't happen by the end of the Asian kill zone, then I will cancel the order as I mentioned previously. And price may continue up and cross this level or this level here, these market structure shift levels that are just staged up here. It may do that, but I'm going to leave this order right down here at this original order block level here and see if price will return within the kill zone. I'll head back over to Euro USD. We'll keep an eye on the trade that we have active while this limit order sits and waits for a potential opportunity there. We'll let it marinate a bit. Right now, highlight these fair value gaps here. And while I'm at it, I'll just hop back over to pound dollar and highlight this one as well. This one may go without me, which is fine. That fair value gap was larger than I thought. Currently in profits. Got up to a rocky start today, but I've been collecting myself ever since. I have tightened up my trading systems here, or at least my strategies here, and have reduced it or completely changed what I was doing and gone back to some of the original ICT strategies that I studied and practiced earlier on. I've gotten into some more kind of custom things, but now just getting back to the basics. So this is the OTE, or the optimal trade entry. So if you see the Fibonacci tool here, the levels are at 0 and at 1, and then at 62 and at 79%. So between 62% and 79% is the optimal trade entry. So I'm looking for confluence on charts in that area, and that's what I was able to get on Euro USD and pound dollar today, but pound no entry, or at least not so far. And you can see the same thing if I zoom out here. You can see the level. You can see the levels here. So looking for price in this area, and you can see this is happening right where I would anticipate price action to deliver the 5-minute to the buy side. So this trade is lining up well so far, and we'll see if there's continuation here. Again, this is a 4-to-1 reward to risk ratio. That's my I would say my standard or my target for these OTE trades, these optimal trade entries, aiming for a 4-to-1 reward to risk ratio. The other strategy that I'm using, these two strategies exclusively, just depending on the session and what sets up, is CRT, so candle range theory. So using that for the open, for the London Open and for the New York Open solely, and then the OTE I'll use during any of the 4 kill zones that I trade, but the CRT only for the 2 kill zone opens for London and New York. Back over to pound, see if it's moving along. Yeah, pound's still moving here. Let's see what we have with the spread. There's a 15. It's a 15 spread. So this is then 28. Okay, 28. Okay. Just checking because I switched how I'm measuring my order blocks, switched it to the open or the actual body of the candle instead of the wick. So I wanted to measure just now to see if the wick would have been reached, and the wick would not have been reached on this order block. So price has not delivered an opportunity for buyers to enter pound dollar based on this order block, or at least not for my broker with the spread here. But we'll see if an opportunity presents itself later in the session. About 42 minutes remaining in the session, so we'll see what pound dollar does. Right now back to euro dollar, still delivering to the buy side here. Seeing pull back in both of them. Hold on, my neighbor's dog. side delivery. Hop over to pound dollar and see if that's getting any close to the limit, or if it's still sitting high. Yeah, still sitting high. So I doubt if I'll get an entry, and I'm fine if I don't. If I don't get an entry, then I actually don't want to be in it. I've just seen a number of times where the offer doesn't reach the limit order, even if the bid does, and then the trade will go, but it just won't go as far. And that's not to say this one is going to go all the way, but I would say the probabilities are higher. See a potential buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, or bullish fair value gap forming right here on the 4 hour. Price delivering back to the buy side here on Euro US dollar. And then you can see price now in this 60-minute candle here approaching the high of this bearish fair value gap, and if it can close above this fair value gap and disrespect it, then it's a higher probability that price would continue to the buy side here and then test this bearish fair value gap. Seeing some further buy side delivery here. Price pulling back. There's a bullish fair value gap here on the 5-minute chart. We'll see if price trades into it, and if it does, how it reacts. There's going to be some liquidity resting down here. Price may want to return to this level, and that may provide an entry for pound dollar. If price wants to return to that liquidity, but there is liquidity there. Have a look at pound dollar. Same, more or less. Price consolidating here, looking stuck in the mud. This is the Asian session, so things tend to move a bit slower here during this session than the let's say the sessions with more volume here, but I've observed things may be a little slower, but they still go, and they can sneak up on you towards the end of the session. So I'm curious to see how Euro USD delivers here for the remainder of the kill zone and just for the remainder of the Asian session in general. Price consolidating here. So we may be getting that return to sell side delivery here for the remainder of the kill zone. As I mentioned, there's some sell side liquidity resting here. We'll see if the algorithm comes back for it. Check pound dollar to see if it's set up the same way. No, it didn't set up the same way. But it still may come back to that level, but it's not set up the same. Still consolidating here. 1.221. Platform is resetting here. Let's refresh this. Just noticed I got the limit entry, but was paying attention to pound dollar in case it gave an entry right after. They were both setting up and playing with the order block entry level, whether or not they would both trip the level at the same time and or set up at the same time. So would have to make me scramble to get into both positions in a timely manner, but I was able to get both orders into the market before price was able to pull back to my limit entry, at least here on Euro US dollar, and my order was in on time on pound dollar if that would have gone as well. Still consolidating here. Looks like it's putting in a new 5-minute low. There it is. So price looking to return to this bullish fair value gap. Now price is trading within the fair value gap. I'm gonna pull this arrow back. See swing level. So these are equal lows. These are equal lows. So there's going to be liquidity here. And there's going to be liquidity here. There's liquidity here as well. And the swing is right here. So very interesting pattern prices put in here. Let's check on pound dollar to see if it's getting any closer to entry. Maybe it's turning down. So pound dollar is now trading below the swing low on the 5-minute here. Price is trading into a bullish fair value gap. And same thing here on the daily. Potential bullish fair value gap forming here. So looking pretty identical here. But they do tend to move similar, but not quite the same. Here price reacting here in the fair value gap. See here, price closed inside of the fair value gap here. So there's going to be a higher probability that price can go below this order block, or go below this fair value gap. We'll see what this candle does. But ideally, not wanting to see a body candle close below the order block would be ideal. Sell side delivery here. Price selling in a hurry here. As I mentioned, things can speed up near the end of the kill zone. Instead of watching Euro USD pull back. But this is the type of pullback that I would want to see. Something very quick, just a candle or as few candles as possible. And pound dollar getting closer to the limit entry here. Pulling back and delivering to the buy side. Sweeping out this liquidity that I mentioned here. Euro USD has done the same thing, sweeping out that short-term liquidity, that newly engineered liquidity, sweeping that out of the market. Now I'm seeing a return to buy side delivery here, and putting in a potential sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency here, depending on how this candle closes, or a bearish fair value gap. Peek over at USD JPY. Okay, it's not setting up. It wasn't on watch, but it was, let's say, on a secondary watch, super secondary. But it looked like it was going to fail to reach the optimal trade entry zone, and it has. So it's not tradable for me today, or at least during this session. Pound dollar here, getting closer to my limit entry. And there's the entry. Now we'll see if there's any continuation to these, or if they just fall through and stop me out. Still seeing sell side delivery here. Here's US or Euro US dollar. Here's the liquidity that I mentioned would likely be swept here and here, and now likely coming for this last level that I mentioned here. And it could be coming for me because I am down here. We'll see. Got one here and one potential forming here. Bearish value gaps. We'll see if price Price will return to the buy side here. I'm getting some buy side delivery. With a pound dollar, getting some buy side delivery here too, but nothing to get excited about yet. So price action has swept out all of this liquidity here, at least to here. And we'll see if this is enough for price to return here to the buy side. Seeing some buy side delivery here. We'll see if there's continuation with this buy side delivery. I'll hop over to pound dollar and show you my profit target for pound dollar. Another optimal trade entry and a 4-to-1. So the swing high on pound dollar is actually the high of the dealing range, which is different from Euro US dollar, which had a swing high around here in the range. Stop loss back here. Again, a 4-to-1 reward to risk ratio on this trade. Price action still trading below both entries, seeing some consolidation. So I'll get an idea how effective OTE is here in the Asian session. About 18 minutes remaining in the Asian kill zone. And then the remainder of the Asian session into the London session. If all goes well, I'll be back for the London kill zone. Not expecting too much here into the close of the kill zone. Maybe price will likely just consolidate in this area, and looking like it's going to put in a series of bearish fair value gaps that it will need to trade through at some point if it's going to deliver to the buy side, or price could just flush and deliver to the sell side and sweep me out of the market with the rest of the liquidity that's been generated here, but we'll see. let price do its thing here. And again, if all goes well, I'll be back for the London kill zone. If you'd like to know more, visit us at OnTiltTrading.com. Stay on tilt, never emotional.